Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, where we take a look around town right now, because, well, new day and all that. We haven't properly explored everything. So, yeah, Chief is not here. I think we pet the cat, right? Yep. I'm gonna miss you too now, but no. We had that already. Good, then... I invited Momo out to play, but her mum wouldn't let her. This is boring. I think Momo's mama is worried about letting her out of her house. I can't blame her after what happened during the raid. Yuna looked so sad. Yeah, she must have it really tough right now. But don't worry, if anyone can do it, it's Yuna. We just gotta focus on doing whatever we can to help. Yeah, you're right. I can't just sit around crying. That's the spirit. Yuna's not gonna be coming home back for a while. Gotta keep things together while she's gone. Ilya was seriously injured when the town got attacked the other day. Does that mean we might never see a performance stage again? This can't be happening! The IBC was reduced to a burning pile of rubble, but awful as that is, at least they quickly resumed their services. Banks are what keeps merchants like me in business. Can't say I appreciate someone blowing the place sky high. I tried calling the hospital yesterday. From the sound of it, Cecilia and the rest of the staff have been working non-stop for days. I can only imagine. There were so many people who needed to be admitted because of a raid. It makes me worry for her. Cecilia is the kind of person who won't rest so long as there are people in need. I just pray she doesn't overwork herself. Yeah, as a nurse, she's probably very busy right now. If there's one silver lining here, it's that this neighborhood came out relatively unscathed. I mean, look at the administrative and harbor districts. They're in terrible shape. If you're looking for Oscar, he's helping with a charity event. As much as I would have loved to go, Oscar's sunny smile will be more than enough to cheer everyone. I mean, forget I said that. What I meant was what I trust Oscar to handle a charity event. Don't you dare read into it. Of course, of course. We're having a construction sale today, so some of the bread is half off. It's not often they put things up at a discount, so I plan to splurge and buy myself a few baker's dozen. We're having a sale to make the reconstruction period a little easier for folks. But unfortunately for Oscar's Vanguards, he's not in today. It's been a while since it's been just me and Bennett running the show. Here's hoping we can keep the place standing. To think we would end up the victims of a raid. Who would have imagined it? As for me, I'm doing my small part to ensure the city remains safe in the aftermath. That said, even if Urbonia is behind the attack, I doubt they would act again so soon. Regardless, we're going to have to keep our guard up until the referendum 3 days from now. People are working to restore the IBC building, now that it's been reduced to rubble. I plan on taking pictures of it all. We can't let something so mortifying happen ever again. Capturing the aftermath on photo will make sure we never forget what happened that night. My husband made a donation towards the city reconstruction efforts. I used to think he was nothing but a selfish pig, but now I'm starting to view him in a new light. I went to the charity event to donate all the mirror I made selling off our old furniture. They put it to far better use than I would, wasting it all on myself. We're all going through hard times right now, so it's important to help each other out. Thankfully, Arias was able to protect Orcus Tower from the raid. Damn shame about the IBC though, that building was one of the symbols of Crossbill. Those criminal deviants bringing it down makes a mockery of our state's rich history. It's unconscionable. Crosswalk criminals, they can't be allowed to get away with this. Our city raided by marauders. Can you imagine anything more terrifying? Our neighborhood was fortunate enough to go mostly unscathed, but if the worst is yet to come. I just hope we never find ourselves in a situation like that ever again. Mom keeps stopping me every time I try to play outside, but I want to go hang out with Rio and Henri. Hey there, welcome to Talis'. We're holding a sale on basic necessities. Have a look. The prospect of letting Momo play outside just terrifies me. It's been a week since everything happened, and even still, I can't bring myself to fully relax. My mom is finally home from her job abroad. Thank goodness for that. It was scary not having the whole family together during the raid. I haven't seen my mom since the anniversary festival. It's good to know she's doing okay. You finally come home, Marietta. Yes, well, the IBC building was our main office after all. I came back to help with relocating services to Orcus Tower. I see, I know you're busy, but remember to take proper care of yourself, dearie. My son and Marietta both work for the IBC, so they've been terribly busy after the headquarters collapsed. Though I do wish they would find the time to make sure they themselves don't collapse too. I was so relieved to find out my family wasn't hurt during the attack. Unfortunately, I'll be spending much of my time here helping the main division of the IBC. There's a lot of work to be done. Harold is visiting mines today to see how the citizens are holding up. Ever since the raid and occupation, he's been determined to help them as much as he can. It makes me proud to have a compassionate husband like him. Papa's gonna take me and Mama on a trip the next time he gets a break of work. He said where we're going is really nice. Can't wait. I heard a bunch of cops and guardsmen were injured in the raid the other day. Serves them right. That's what they get for treating us like drags. Despicable. I'd rather not spend another second in his presence. Fair enough. Anything we tell this idiot will just go in one ear and come right out the other. The whole city is down in the dumps. How are we supposed to have any fun like this? Maybe going on a drive or something would cheer things up? Wait, that's right. We don't have a car anymore. If only we hadn't totaled our car. Or gotten our licenses suspended. Guess we'll just have to survive these next few weeks without any joyrides. Yuri's talking big and all, but I think he's kinda crossing a line here. Me and Cycle try to get him to ease off. Don't worry, we'll be slick about it. That raid was one of the most horrific shows of violence I've ever seen. I've been having nightmares about it ever since. It's getting to where even sleep is no longer a refuge. Right, Joanna is still at the charity event. The raid was nothing short of a tragedy. While the reconstruction of Crossbill City is nearing completion, I'm afraid the residual fears and anxieties over what happened have yet to subside for the average citizen. We can only hope that Master Henry and Mayor Croix find a way to keep us safe in the coming days. Grandpa is never home. Mass will be held in the cathedral today. The services are dedicated to those who lost their lives in the raid, as we pray for Adios to guide them to her kingdom. I hope that all of you can find the time to join us. Many mourners have visited today to grieve those who lost their lives in the raid. I always give cookies to the children who come to Mass. You're welcome to attend too, of course. It's understandable that so many would come here to pray for peace after what happened to the city. I hope none of us have to experience a tragedy like that again. Arya stopped by to say hello not too long ago. We don't share drinks anymore the way we did in the good old days, but even still, that man hasn't changed a bit. Oh, someone left a bouquet. But who? Yeah, probably Arya from what we just heard. The weight on the city struck me with terror. Couldn't help but think back to the incident that took my husband away from me 30 years ago. Never did I want to go through anything so traumatic again, and yet... Arios. The SSS. Didn't expect to see all of you here. By the way, we read what happened at Orcus Tower in the latest crossbow times. The article said you took the Jaegers head on. Damn dude, good job. You flatter me. Don't forget that I had Dudley to rely on too. There's no need to be so modest. Incidentally, the grave you came to visit today, is it safe to assume who it is? Saya McLean, Shizuku's mother. She passed away in an accident 5 years ago. Shizuku's mother and your wife? This was the same accident that Kiddo lost her eyesight in, yeah? Arias? Is something wrong? No, not at all. I finished my business here. It's time I take my leave. Oh, right. It was good seeing you, Arias. Listen well, Lloyd. Crossbow is on the brink of an era unprecedented in its history. But no matter what happens, no matter what circumstances are thrust upon you, what trials lie ahead, never lose sight of what's most important to you. Huh? Oh. And just like that, he's gone. What the hell was that all about? Beats me? I was unable to pass it myself, but it almost felt like a warning. What were you trying to get at, Arios? Yeah, so it probably was Arios who left the flowers for Guy, his old partner. I've been chalking my recent business successes up to my constant prayers to the goddess, but I can hardly take pride in the blessing I've had after what happened to the city. So today I'm not here to pray for profits. The only thing I have to ask of Adios is peace and tranquility. What do profits matter if Crossbow is constantly in turmoil? There's nothing to celebrate about that. The CGF and citizens both suffered heavy losses in the raid, but must be done to ensure that such an incident never occurs again. That's something that all coast balance must come together and reflect on right now. Far more people are attending Mass than usual these days. That's hardly a surprise. The city will need all the solace it can find to recover from the attack. Not long ago I received a report from the Congregation for Divine Worship. It stated that His Holiness the Pope has authorized the Congregation of the Sacraments' intervention in Crossbell. But even so, I will never approve of them. I refuse to condone their stooping to illicit acts, no matter the justification. We've managed to confirm the safety of all the children currently enrolled in Sunday school. Sadly, lessons have been suspended indefinitely due to the current state of affairs. Nevertheless, I cannot wait for them to begin again. I truly do miss their smiling faces already. We're here for Mass today. Usually all we do is play around, but even we know to behave at a time like this. Dear Goddess, please look after all the people in the city. I hear the young men from the Testaments gang have taken the initiative to rebuild the downtown district. I couldn't fathom why they would do so at first. Perhaps they truly are good kids deep down. Ilya is out of commission. Our concierge has closed its doors until further notice. Our reconstruction may be proceeding smoothly, but the scars of that terrible raid still hold a firm grip on our hearts. What the city needs is some piece of good news to get us through this. Hey there, wanna play? Then come in, our casino could use energy like yours. Everyone's talking about the referendum. I hear they're gonna have polling stations all over, but if I'm gonna vote, I might as well be at August Tower. I'm fortunate that I wasn't here when that terrible attack occurred last week, but by the same token, there's no guarantee that it won't happen again. It may be wise for me to hold off on my outings to Crossbell for now. Every time I see the scorch marks outside, I think back to the raid. We are fortunate that armed grooms didn't breach a casino. But suppose they had. What would have happened to us? A thought keeps me up at night. The referendum will finally be held 3 days from now. After everything that happened, it's easy to predict the results, but even so, I still plan to participate. How will I be voting? That, dear guest, is a secret. That raid last week put a fear of ideas in me. Times like these are when we should focus on our well-being. What better way to heal than playing with slots? Well, if it isn't Randy, you have a face of a man who's finally managed to move on. I have to wonder what you're doing here, though. Business has been dead all week. What are you talking about? The place looks the same as it always does. Why don't you just admit that you miss me, Drake? You wish. Life was going great with one less whiny brat to deal with. The only reason I want you around is so that you can pay back your debts, and that don't just mean your tab. So don't think about going anywhere until you've paid me back in full. Don't remind me, old grouch. I know it doesn't always seem like it, but those two really are close. Like a pair of schoolyard pals. Things have finally calmed down, sure, but the city's still in the same slump it's been since the raid. The way I see it, it's up to guys like me to party harder than ever before to kickstart the economy. Know what I'm saying? I had tickets to what would have been tonight's Arc-on-Sale performance, but after what's happened, all I can do now is pray that Ilya will be alright. I'm so worried about Ilya. I wish there was some way I could help, but all I know how to do is sell ice cream. Still, I keep at it while I await Ilya's big comeback. Here goes nothing! Ice cream! Get your ice cream here! It's cold, it's tasty, it's refreshing. You know you want a scoop. Why? What did Lady Ilya ever do to deserve this? Those monsters, Aegis itself could never forgive what they did to her. They say Lady Ilya is still in a coma. Damn it all, what kind of cruel word would let something like this happen? Who exactly was that red-haired girl? And where has Risha run off to? So much has transpired and I'm still baffled by almost all of it. Hello everyone. Basamo, I'm a little surprised you're here. Is the entire troop in today? Indeed they are. Each of them has been coming to the theater every day they can. Except for Risha, that is. She has yet to return since that horrible night. We are sorry to hear that. That aside, all of the troop have been taking turns visiting Ilya at the hospital. Sully will be there all day today, as a matter of fact. I see. She must be taking this hard. Well, truth be told, I'm still in shock at what happened. This all feels like a never-ending nightmare. If only. Forgive me for rambling. You're free to walk around the theater and say hello to the rest of the troop. I think they would like that. Know that the SSS is always welcome here. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it. So Ilya's still in a coma. Sully is taking all this much harder than the rest of us. Ilya was hurt protecting her, so she blames herself for it. I wonder what Ilya would say to us at a time like this. I know we have to stay strong, but have been at a loss for days. Oh, Lloyd. I'm sorry, Avon. No, I should be the one apologizing. I had so much on my mind these past few days, but it's hard to even greet our guests properly. Still, I believe with all my heart that Ilya will recover from her coma. We believe so too. In any case, now it isn't the time to be moping around. I have to pull myself together for everyone's sake. Ilya will be furious with me if she finds out I've been moping about this entire time. The stage set and automata the Meister built us were destroyed in the attack. The Meister breathed life into these works of art and the troop members took care of them with the utmost respect. All it took was a senseless act of violence to destroy them all in the blink of an eye. Still, at the end of the day, the staging automata can always be rebuilt. But what happened to Ilya? I'm sorry, I need a moment. If I let something like this break me, I'll never be able to face Ilya again. I will rebuild. Where could Risha be? It feels like she's hiding something from us, but still, she is one of us. I don't really believe she just abandoned us without so much as saying goodbye. Ilya has always been an amazing woman. She gallantly protected Sully without a second thought, and even after she was hurt, the only thing she cared about was Sully's safety and the rest of her performance. They say the show must go on, but is there anything we can accomplish in this state? Even now, I can't get that night out of my mind. Normally, I would be practicing my singing right about now, but I just can't find the inspiration anymore. How could something so tragic happen to our fervent dancer? I can hardly believe it's real. I've been nauseous just thinking about that horrible attack on opening night. Ilya's costume was tattered and stained in blood. I couldn't bear to look at it. Oh, Ilya, how could this have happened? Seeing the entertainment district bathed in flames was like a scene right out of a nightmare. For now, I hope our hotel can play a small part in restoring Crossbear City to its former glory. The raid has left deep lasting scars on our city, and that is far from an overstatement. The CGF sustained heavy losses, even Ilya couldn't escape harm. We can never allow this to happen again. This is all I have to say on the matter. Monsters roaring, gunshots left and right, officers shouting and screaming. Recalling the details of that night still makes me quiver with fear. How could this have happened to us? Our hotel was fortunate enough to avoid any major damage in the raid. Our concern the event was a catastrophe. Why would the attackers even target them? It's despicable. Hey buddy, how's it hanging? You wanna come in for a quick drink or free? Forget the civic center, our club's got all the charity service you need, if you catch my drift. Hey there pal, our club's celebrating its grand reopening. The city's not the only one in need of some restoration. Why not treat yourself to a nice drink and chat with the choicest gals in town? Dudley? Dudley, this is a surprise. My thoughts exactly. This is the last player I expected to run into all of you. You're back to handling your support requests today, is that right? Yeah, we're helping however we can. If you don't mind us asking, have you heard anything new about the Red Constellation's whereabouts? Hardly. Tracking them down has been a thorn in the First Division's side. We expected the Imperial government to make a statement, but there's been nothing but radio silence from Erebonia. If they are planning something, it will probably come during the referendum. Our division is working tirelessly to be prepared for anything when the day comes. I can imagine. What brings you here then? You're looking pretty down in the dumps. Didn't take you for the time to drown his problems away. While I do imbibe from time to time, I would never do so before noon, let alone while on the job. This is merely a carbonated beverage. You did a good job fooling me the way you've been nursing that glass. What about you, Bennings? Do you drink? Sure, but not often. Huh, at least there's one way you haven't taken after the guy. Did you used to drink here with my brother, Dudley? Yes, on rare occasion. In fact, it was Guy who introduced me to Garant. He always had a knack for tracking down holes in the wall like these. With the way he liked looking for trouble? Yeah, I bet. So which of you two held his liquor better? There's no way you two didn't try to outdrink each other at some point. No comment. What I will say, Orlando, is that Guy and I have hollower legs than any of you greenhorns could ever dream of. Keep talking, Susley. You ain't ever seen me hit the bottle. I'll leave it so sloshed you'll be thinking you put on beer goggles in the morning. 4 eyes. I'd be happy to drink you under the table some night, Orlando. If that is what you really want. Okay, easy guys. Even when it comes to alcohol, Dudley has a hyper-competitive streak. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'll be getting back to work right after I finish this soda. The referendum is days away, as it says. We can't afford to be anything less than fully prepared. Never did I expect the Red Constellation to mount an assault on the city, too. I'm used to rumors rolling through my bar like tumbleweeds, and even I was blindsided. A raid that perfectly executed had to be planned well in advance. Our club has been closed since the raid, but we're opening back up tonight. Now that the construction's almost over, we can finally get back to work. There goes my vacation. Our place is nothing special, but even we've got regulars that have been dying for us to reopen. Guess it's up to us to show them a good time. It's locked. The First Division's investigation is over, so it should be empty inside. They disappeared without a trace in that airship. Just where could they have gone? The CGF is still keeping a lookout for them. They haven't let down their guard since. Oh. Randy? Are you alright? Yeah, don't worry about me. I just need to settle things once and for all the next time I face them. Yeah, you're right. A monster shot up downtown and destroyed my beloved Mason and Melda during the raid. I let loose with the bleakest of my life upon seeing the aftermath. Ah, sakes alive. Just what will become of that district, I wonder. Rebuilding it would be too expensive. I might as well cut my losses and sell the land. That raid on the city must have been orchestrated by the Empire. Oh yes, they've been feigning camaraderie with us lately, but anyone knows they'd stop at nothing to advance their agenda. Playing dirty is nothing new to them. The first chance they get to plot an invasion, they'd take it. That's how Erbonia is. What kind of sick bastard would steal the symbol of an entire city? They've completely ruined one of Crossbell's most famous landmarks. Wow, all those rumors about the bell being stolen were true? Oh, Siegas did it, right? What's their aim here? I just can't get a handle on it. The raid on the city made me consider holding a cooking competition between Sateo and Nono. But they insisted that the show must go on, so we went ahead with it after we closed last night. The results were unbelievable. Both of them produced dishes so incredible that they brought me to literal tears. My goodness me, seeing my apprentices grow with my own two eyes has been a tremendous journey. The only downside is that it would feel like a terrible waste of Nono's culinary talent to keep her out here. I'm going to need to figure out how to make things work with 3 chefs in the kitchen. The recent raid has only added fuel to the fire of those in favor of the independence. I understand their frustration, but I have to wonder if we can't have a more level-headed conversation. Acting on emotion causes commotion. Someone said that, I'm sure. It only lasted for a month or so, but I had a lot of fun working in the kitchen. The manager suggested I actually pursue becoming a chef, and honestly, I was thinking of giving it a shot too. I'm convinced the Empire was responsible for the raid on the city. There's no forgiving them after what they've done. What are they even trying to get out of this? I can't believe they hired a group of armed soldiers to attack the city. What a despicable thing to do. Then again, Erebonia has always been trigger happy. It's easy to forget that. Does Heusdorf just like to mess with people or something? He didn't pick a winner for my showdown with Nono. In fact, he was never even planning to. Why did I even bother working so hard then if there's nothing at stake? Anyway, the city's gotten so much more dangerous this past year. I'll admit I'm pretty lucky to have a job that keeps me happy and leveled like this. I mean, he might have picked a winner if you just messed it up and didn't work hard. I totally think he would have. I'm glad to see Sateos finally applying himself in the kitchen. He prepared a seafood pasta using a tomato sauce base. But what really brought out the flavor was the variety of spices he incorporated. It was both fresh and outstanding. I think he did a superb job of it. Sateo used to hate relying on conventional ingredients and flavor pairings. It made him too narrow-minded when it came to his cooking, but thankfully he's managed to grow out of it a little. Hey there, Lloyd. How are you guys doing? Good morning, Special Support Section, Sergeant Major Sitica. Good morning to you too. Are you stationed here for the day, Franz? This is usually Kate's post, isn't it? Yeah, Officer Kate is working on a different case elsewhere. I was assigned here to cover for her. I assume that has something to do with the Red Constellation stealing the Bell of Crossbell? That would be part of her motivation behind strengthening the patrols in this area, no? It's only natural. That bell is part of the state's cultural heritage after all. Maybe it's just window dressing, but the CGF was ordered to guard this spot too. We have no leads as to why they stole the bell or where it was taken to, correct? Unfortunately, yeah, the CPD and CGF are currently on the hunt, but no luck thus far. What the hell are my uncle and his merry band of jackasses trying to pull with this? It's not exactly the easiest thing to up and walk away with either. We would have had to go through a lot of trouble. Well, for now, we'll just leave the others to track down the bell and focus on our own work. Bye for now, friends. Best of luck guarding the city. Thanks. See you later, LoH. Those damn Jägers. Why would anyone want to steal the Bell of Crossbell anyway? I guess it's no use trying to get into their heads about it. I'm taking the day off my job as a tour guide to spend some time with Abiel and Mimi. There's still a lot on the horizon I'm worried about, but seeing Mimi smile is all the relief I need. Isn't Mimi adorable? Just look at those white, innocent eyes of her. It really is strange. Why would these armed militants take the Bell of Crossbell with them? What do they expect to do with it? It's not exactly the sort of thing you can just sell off. Hi everyone! Over here on your right you see the famous Bell of Crossbell. Wait, it's not here anymore? Where did it go? A bunch of citizens marched right in here after that dust up in mines. Told them they couldn't buy weapons without a license, but let me tell you, there was some real bullheaded oafs in the mix. Still, after everything that's happened, I can't fault them for getting worked up. Anyhow, if you want to have a weapon, you've got to be prepared to bear the responsibility of what you do with it. Take this as a reminder. You don't want to wake up one day unable to live with yourself. Now, Noel wants to leave, so I'm not certain I should buy her a new weapon. Also, he already is quite strong. People are saying Urbonia was responsible for the raid on the city. But what if it's not all? What if a train derailment and the occupation of mines were doing too? I don't want to turn against the nation with the most advanced railway tech on the continent, but it's hard to have faith knowing the facts. What if all of these recent incidents were orchestrated by the Empire? I never did expect Crossbell City to be raided by Jägers. What did we do to deserve this? Just can't take this anymore. I plan to get as far away from Crossbell as possible. The quicker the better too. I have no intention of staying this powder keg any longer than I have to. Ah yes, Crossbell. It's been far too long since I've crossed paths with these waters. I must say they're just as pristine as the waters in my native Libel. The raid on the city was absolutely terrifying. It was like being in a waking nightmare. I hope I never live to experience anything like that ever again. People are saying those Jägers were hired by the Imperial government. If that's the case, then who knows when we might strike again. It's at the point where I can't even sleep at night anymore. Normally I don't care much for politics, but this bid for our independence is a separate matter entirely. The more I think about recent incidents, the more I start to lean in favor of it. We're holding the referendum just 3 days from now. We'll be covering shifts for one another at the store then. That way, every employee will have the opportunity to vote. Chaka and I met immense. She's even been allowing me to walk her to work. My little girl means the world to me. As long as I can lift a finger, I'm going to protect her with all I have. I've been letting my dad walk me to and from work this past week. True, I only changed my mind when it was convenient for me, but it really does make me feel safer. I just came back from the venue. That was one heck of a good time. Except for that little remark Roy made about me. What was up with that? He made it sound like I go around beating up every customer with a wrench or something. I mean, seriously, what's the big deal? Come on, right, back me up here. Yeah, of course, Wendy. Watch where you're swinging that thing. Still, I had way more fun than I expected. Thanks for the invite. I'd best get back to work now. No rest for a worry, am I right? Words were holding some kind of like charity event over in the administrative district. Wanna go check it out? Sure, why not? Not like we're gonna donate, but I mean, there's a thought that counts with these things, right? We can invite the others if you want. Now's no time for a merchant like myself to get depressed. Not when I'm providing essential goods to people who need them. So, welcome to Legion Foods. Can I interest you in a bulb or two of overgrown garlic to put some pep in your step? It's both larger and richer in nutrients than the average variety, which makes it a perfect pick-me-up. No surprise that St. Earth has been swamped ever since everything went down. Even the Roan seem pretty blue about it. Maybe if I wasn't such a good-for-nothing, I'd be able to help somehow. Cynthia's participating in the charity event over in the administrative district. I hear they're having her take part in a beauty pageant. I have to bug her to show me pictures later. The Civic Center is hosting a charity event today to raise funds for the city's reconstruction. It's a collaboration between the Business Owners Association and the local government in hopes of heartening the citizens. They have a full support of our store, so I do hope you attend if you have the time. How could those monsters do something like that to Ilya on their long-awaited revival debut, no less? When it first happened before my eyes, I was scared for my life, but now I'm just pissed beyond belief. I gotta hand it to Mom. Nothing rattles her. I don't know how she does it, but it's actually kinda inspiring. Now that I've had a few days off, it's time to get back to my shopping grind. You know what they say, if you don't shop, the economy stops. No matter how hard I try, I can't forget the sheer terror of being right there when Archon was attacked. What if those monsters even get out of doing something like that? That was a terrorist attack, basically. Bringing terror. It seems the city's reconstruction is well underway. I have nothing in particular to offer, but I do plan to lower some prices to help people in need. We're never going to be able to trust Arabonia or Calvert, so why bother retracting our claim to independence? And again, we can't very well ignore the threat of their militaries at our doorstep. For my money, independence is the only way for Crossbell to solve the root cause of its problems. I'm not convinced that going to Arabonia and Calvert is going to keep us safe after what just happened to our city. Only 3 more days until the polls open. We plan to have everyone here take turns leaving to vote. As for me, I'm still undecided. What do I do? Look at me, I'm the Super Bracer Arius McLean. Second form, Gale, whoosh! Arius McLean is a hero for defending Orcus Tower from most Jaegers. The city wouldn't be what it is if not for him always protecting us, and he proved it that night. Even now that night still haunts me. Why, when I think what I did to dear sweet Ilya? No, I'll never forgive those infernal barbarians. Not them, or the Imperial government. After what they put us through, independence is our only option. We need to rise up and fight back! The fundraiser we're holding at the Civic Center seems like fun. They managed to set up some real exciting events. Above all, I think making the correct construction effort something we can come together and enjoy as a community is a wonderful idea. I see that this fundraiser was planned by the Business Owners Association. It's just like the anniversary festival. You can't always count on the BOA to hatch an uplifting idea. Welcome! How would you like to try my brand new acerbic tomato soda? Some people swear by the stuff I have, you know. Give it a swig. It'll put a pep in your step, I guarantee it. No. Just no. A charity event hosted by the city and the Business Owners Association looks like a good time. Maybe head over and make a donation. It's only human to want to help your fellow neighbors. We still got a long road ahead, but the construction efforts finally seem to be coming together. Thankfully, there's no damage to the station or airport, so I'm still free to come and go from Crossbell as I please. It's scary to think about, but mass transit is a major target for violence when it comes to attack like the raid. This library is indispensable for research in Crossbell history. Maybe it's about time I shut myself in a research lab in Le Mans, though. I've already gotten off work and left for the night when the raid began. It seems the administrative district suffered heavy damages, especially at the police department. An entire week has gone by since then, but even now I can't forget the flames that ravaged our city. Balloons, get your balloons here! How many would you like? 1, 2, 3? Take as many as you can hold! I'll be teaching some balloon sculpting as part of a general arts class at the Civic Center is holding this afternoon. Come join us if you're interested. The Empire did so many awful things, but makes them the bad guys, right? Have you heard? They say the raid was plotted by the Empire. Those damn Imperials, I never forgive them. I was such a fool. All this made me realize that it doesn't matter how subservient we are to the Empire. Our lives mean nothing to them. For the sake of Crossbell, pursuing our independence is the only choice we have. Good afternoon, Special Support Section. Same to you, how's it going? Have repairs begun in our headquarters? Well, we managed to clean up most of the rubble thus far. But as you can see, the damage to the entranceway is quite severe. It's going to take some time before the reception area is fully operational again. In the meantime, the department has moved all reception duties to the Crosswell Police Academy. That's where you find Miss Rebecca as well. Any work-related business you need to conduct can be done over there. Good to know. Thanks for telling us. Everyone has a grand old time, and we managed to collect plenty of Mira for the reconstruction efforts to boot. Turns out Roy's patient suggestion was a winning idea after all. Thank you for attending today's charity drive. If there are any events that interest you in particular, let me know. I would be happy to provide you with more information. I hope you all enjoyed today's charity event. Ah boy, do I love being adored. That was a ton of fun. I'd do it again in a heartbeat if I got a chance. The pageant was quite riveting. Perhaps if I were 30 years younger, I could have participated myself. All the participants were absolutely lovely. It makes me regret not volunteering myself for the mate role. I can't believe I agreed to go on stage for something like that. Well, I thought you looked just darling up there, Joanna. But please, you're embarrassing me. Can't believe I paraded around on a stage like that. I'm so embarrassed. I'd assumed the pageant was going to be in poor taste, but it actually ended up being quite a lot of fun. Thank you for making it happen. Thank you for inviting me, everyone. Experiences like these are few and far in between for members of a church. Glad you had fun. Kind of a shame you dropped out though. You're the one I really wanted to vote for. Yes, well, as a non-cross balance, I felt it would have been wrong of me to compete against the other women. But I happily accept the compliment nonetheless. Thank you. Reese's might have taken the whole thing home if she stayed on the ballot. Although she seems to be blissfully unaware of that fact. Although I declined to participate in the competition, I still considered it a worthwhile experience. After all, this buffet is enough of a reward already. That pile of food on our plate puts the mind's mountains to shame. Reese always does something of a gourmand. I'll return to the cathedral eventually, but for now, I still have some unfinished business with this buffet. Still hanging around, huh? For what it's worth, I thought you guys' entry was pretty cool. Imagine my surprise when I saw who was up there. You'll always be the real winner in my eyes. Ah, thank you, Oscar. That'll be over the moon if this ends up getting us more customers. I'm still worried about Risha, but I know deep down in my heart that she'll come home. I need to cheer up so I can welcome her with a great big smile. Whew, for a second I was scared Shanshan would bow out of a pageant completely. She's back to her regular old self now, thankfully. All's well that ends well, huh? Shanshan really started her stuff on that stage, though. I sure hope Mustard doesn't find out. Oh, my poor little tum-tum. This is what I get for overeating like a pig. But if it's for the sake of Crossbell, I devour everything and then some. Ah, now that's a sight to soothe the soul. There are plenty of snacks here, but I much prefer the eye candy, if you catch my drift. I thought the police officer lady was super cool. As a woman myself, I can say for a fact that the ladies in the pageant were simply stunning. And they're all in the workforce too. What terrific role models for the little girls out there. Even my son seems to admire them. This pageant turned out to be excellent article material. I managed to snap a ton of great photos too. Now I just need to return to the CNS and sort through them. Hey, nice hustle out there. I'm in the middle of interviewing the patient participants. You won't mind if I swing by and hit you up later, right? I feel bad leaving Grace hanging, but we don't really have time to stick around for one of her grilling sessions. If we duck out now, she'll never notice. Oh, really now? I guess I can understand why your family would want you to come home after the wait. I'm actually planning to return home to Remaferia in the near future. My parents would have preferred that I leave sooner, but at least now I'll have a nice story to share with them. The patient has raised us a considerable sum of mirror for the city's reconstruction. It's all thanks to our guests. Oh, and you as well, SSS. Oh, come on. Looky looky, a cooking recipe. How to make decadently sweet chocolate. Why not try making some at home? There's a recipe for sweet chocolate. I was in the financial affairs office when the attack started. The plan was for us to evacuate to the basement, but since it was impossible for everyone to use the elevator, the younger man volunteered to take the stairs instead. The only problem? Financial affairs is on the 31st floor. I thought I was going to have a heart attack by the time I got to the bottom. Never did I picture myself having to run down 30 floors worth of Orchis Tower staircases. Man, I must really be out of shape. I should start going to the gym or something. Well, you have these nice staircases, so you can just keep using them from now on. It doesn't need to be the whole way down even. Just a little bit. Mommy says Mr. Arias and the police officers protect us from the bad guys. Thank you, Mr. Arias. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Police Officers. My daughter and I were in the plaza when the attack happened. But when they told us to take shelter in the building, I thought for certain we were going to die. We owe our lives to everyone who risked theirs to defend the tower, Arias especially. And I saw Niels near. Orchis Tower's presence is such that even without my vision I can feel it towering above me. With how convenient it was at hand to serve as a new symbol for the city after the IBC building's destruction. Oh, perhaps I'm overthinking it. Those Red Constellation thugs were terrifying. They didn't just have us beat and experience, but even the weaponry was more advanced. Maybe things would have gone differently that night if crossed by the real military. The battle that broke out in the plaza here was intense beyond imagination. If it went from Arios, Orchis Tower may have ended up just like the IBC. Even thinking about it sends a shiver down my spine. The tower is safe now, thankfully. There's no point in dwelling on how much worse things could have been. I don't mean to take credit from Detective gladly, he saved us too, but Arios was on another level entirely. His sword was moving so fast that it was practically inhuman. No wonder they call him the Divine Blade of Wind. I was surprised to hear the IBC had been backing up customer data at Orchis Tower for a while now. That's really something, huh? You won't find better crisis management anywhere. That's the kind of reputation that comes with supporting the continent's economy for as long as they have. I saw the conflict in the plaza break out as I was headed to the basement to take shelter during the raid. Watching those Jaegers close in on us was one of the most terrifying things I've ever experienced. I'm so thankful they didn't breach the building. I honestly didn't think I was going to live through the night. The Civic Center is holding a charity event today. All proceedings go toward reconstruction efforts for the city. They've been doing a lot of good work to bring smiles back to people's faces. I urge you to consider attending if you have the time. You know, it's incredible that the IBC managed to get their service up and running again so quickly. It makes me realize just how impressive the OrbitalNet's technology truly is. Hello again, Lanfei. It looks like you've been settling in nicely since the relocation. Good morning, Miss McDowell. And yes, things have been going smoothly thanks to the work of acting CEO Miss Croix and everyone in the technology department. Over half of our staff has already resumed regular operations here at Orcus Tower. Feel free to come to me with anything you might need, just as you did before. Thank you, Lanfei. We will. The IBC will be operating from here in Orcus Tower for a foreseeable future. As such, the separate exchange service is available to you in the same capacity as before. If there's ever anything I can assist you with, feel free to let me know. Arius McLean is a true Cosbellan hero. I was there when he defended us from that armed group's advance. It was breathtaking beyond description. It may sound outlandish, but I feel as though we could even stand up to the major powers with him in our corner. Really, I do. Orcus Tower came away unscathed in raid thanks to Mr. McLean's iron defenses. The ABC building on the other end was nothing but a burnt-out husk now. Thankfully, civilian casualties were kept to a minimum, but there's still scars left behind, like at Arc-en-Ciel. I'm not sure what they were after, or if it was just a warning or something. Doesn't matter, though. Crossbow won't forget this. The Empire must be once back in the quiet constellation. Who else could it be? There's no way us Cosbellans can take something like this lying down. I wouldn't be so quick to just assume that. It's a very different thing to do in politics. Ah, I knew coming up here again would be a good idea. I was planning on taking this time to get through this book I brought, but the view was just too captivating. You can try giving it a read yourself though, if you like. Sunshine Agnes Chapter 10. Looking out at this view makes all my fears and anxieties from the way just wash away. If it helps, it helps. Okay. Working hard, everyone? Oh, Sergeant Major Sticker. Hello, Mum. If a Sergeant Major is here, that must make all of you the SSS. Was there something you needed from the Guardian Force? No, it's nothing like that. We just wanted to see how things are with the IBC building after the explosion. How bad is it? Probably about as much as you're thinking. All that's left is a burned out husk. I get a feeling it's going to be nearly impossible to rebuild it. We're still assessing the full extent of the damage, however. Ellie, what are you all doing here? Belle? You're here too, my dear Belle? Yes, I came to inspect the IBC myself. Would you all care for a little chat? It's been a while, Maria Belle. We haven't really had a chance to talk since our stay at the resort. Yes, it's been far too long since we last spoke face to face. I understand you were present when the building was destroyed? What matters most, though, is that you're safe. Same to you, Belle. We heard that you were in Michelin at the time of the incident. Thank goodness you're alright. Oh, Ellie, you are that worried about me? That must be true love speaking. Belle, you're my best friend. Of course I was worried about you. You know, you're surprisingly chill for someone whose family business just went up in flames. He's right. I'm impressed by how well you're keeping it together. Then I must be doing a fine job of maintaining the facade. Don't think for a second that I'm indifferent to the gravity of the situation. So it really is that bad then? The guardsman just told us all that's left is a burned out husk. Bad doesn't even begin to describe it. Of all the catastrophes in the world, the IBC building was blown sky high. I personally escorted Miss Croix to the site earlier. It's just as grim as she says. We were hoping to recover the seperate ingots stored in the basement, as well as the contents of our vaults. Frankly, I've given up on that at this point. Reconstructing a completely destroyed building is more than we bargained for. It'll take time to just clear the rubble. Thankfully, we were able to transfer the bank's day-to-day operations to Orcus Tower for the time being. I heard about that. It was impressive how quickly we were able to restore the IBC's backup data. Evidently, other countries felt the same. But building in precautions is simply a natural step in system administration. We're able to serve our customers at Orcus Tower now. So it's not all bad news. But that doesn't mean I don't still want to burn the Red Constellation down in return. I spread thin even on the best of days, and now these barbarians have increased my workload tenfold. If I ever see them again, I won't hesitate to tear each of them limb from limb myself. I've never seen her so furious. That reminds me, Belle, what happened to your precious Rosenberg dolls? I don't suppose they were caught in the blast too? Oh, them? The maid who cleans my room stored them in their trunks and carried them to safety as per the emergency protocol arranged. So fortunately my little darlings are all safe and sound. Good planning truly does pay off. It's one of a few silver linings in this mess. Well, at least she can rest easy knowing her dolls are safe. If only she cared about my well-being as much as she does theirs. Excuse me, Miss Croix, but it's almost time. It's been a lovely chatting with you all, but all good things must come to an end. We'll have to catch up again some other time, if you excuse me. Not a problem. We didn't mean to keep you from your busy schedule. Until next time, Belle. Have a good day. Seems that Mayor Croix's daughter couldn't recover much during her inspection of the IBC. It's a small comfort to know that the bank was able to transfer its financial systems to Orcus Tower at least. The reconstruction effort is in full swing and the referendum is in 3 days. Despite everything that's happened, Crossbar City feels more unified than ever. For personally, it feels as though the people in favor of independence are a lot more animated about the issue. Not that I don't understand, it's only natural for any citizen with a strong opinion on this. The newest rumor making the rounds is that the Empire is responsible for the raid. People are talking about it all over town. I get why it would look like that, but it's a slippery slope to lean on, if only we could uncover the truth somehow. Whatever the truth may be, Erabonia is never going to claim responsibility for the raid. As for how they plan to respond to the situation, all we can do is wait and see. The office by the river was completely destroyed. Word is they were working for the Republican government. Knowing that makes me wonder if the Imperial government hired those Jaegers to take them out. But what does any of it have to do with Crossbell? I don't want to see us dragged into their conflicts anymore. Why is it always Crossbell that gets caught in the line of fire? Is it because we're not a sovereign state? If that's the case, then it's all the more reason to show that we have the strength and the will to be independent. My old cart and I endured our share of ups and downs, but just because it went to noodle cart heaven doesn't mean I have to break too. Now that I have a new card, I'm ready to push it to the future and make a fresh start. Even though Hayo's office was destroyed, things have calmed down pretty quickly around here. I imagine the upcoming referendum is keeping most of the citizens out of the doldrums. A lot can change when people's backs are against the wall. Something tells me we're going to see that in the results. No one has seen Hayo since the raid. Couldn't find anything useful on what's left of their office building either. Either they're hiding somewhere in Crossbell or they fled the state entirely. Just where did they run off to? Elamisa and I been just a little slower to escape during the raid. It fills me with dread to think what might have happened to us. There used to be an eastern looking building over there, but now it's totally gone. Boring Grandpa went away somewhere. I guess I'll just play with Grandma today. How could something like this happen to our beloved Crossbell? Even now I can't unhear the screams of that enormous demonic monster that attacked the downtown district. Seems I've got another sleepless night ahead of me. The bell from Central Square has been stolen. No one knows where it went or why anyone would take it in the first place. Something about it all rubs me the wrong way. I wonder if there's anything I can do to help everyone. Maybe I should go downtown to ask Assi. I heard Azel is helping his gang with reconstruction efforts in the downtown district. Working for the good of others? The old Azel would never have done that. He's gonna make his big sister so proud of him. Azel used to be such an antisocial boy. Always up to no good. He really changed for the better. I couldn't be proud of him. Okay, hopefully all these changes of clothes I packed for Fran will be enough. Oh, I know, I should bring her some fresh fruit to snack on. Mom, you're home. Didn't you say you were going to visit Fran earlier today? That's right, I got back just recently. Thank heavens she's awake again. We really owe it to that inspector from the 2nd Division for keeping us safe. Yeah, I have to go and give him my thanks. Make sure you do. So you're going to the hospital too? I was planning to head back again and drop some things off. Fran's going to need a few changes of clothes after all. My company's office was in the IBC, but as you know, it's now burned to a crisp. Shouldn't be a surprise if we're closed for business for the time being. No one was hurt, so it should only be a matter of time before we're up and running again. But still, what a mess. The assailants destroyed the IBC building, so the company I work for is closed for business. I suppose I should be thankful that East Street came out unscathed. I saw it. The giant monster rampaged through the downtown district. Oh, it was just dreadful. When did it possibly become such a terrifying place to live? Whenever I think about the possibility of that monster appearing again, I can't stop myself from trembling. Meow. Mommy and I might go to the charity event later. They said there will be lots of pretty girls there, so we should be there too. My family in Albonia was worried about me, so they sent me a letter. After a catastrophe I'd like to return home soon myself. Perhaps I should consult the main office about this. Oh, hey there guys, I got a quick question for you. Have you seen Arios around today? Yeah, actually, we went into him at the cemetery earlier. He was paying a visit to his late wife's grave. Why? Something happened? Well, he went off to August Tower a bit ago to discuss the guild's plans with the mayor. The thing is, his Enigma 2 ended up getting busted during the raid. We're too busy dealing with the aftermath to give him a new one, so it's a bit of a pain keeping in contact. The meeting should be done by now, so I've been waiting for him to get his divine blade butt back here already. And he still hasn't, huh? Uh-huh. But at least now I know he went to the cemetery. I suppose it's not unusual for him to visit Sire's grave. He'll probably be returning soon enough. Sorry for bugging you guys. Nothing to worry about here. Right. We'll just be going, man. With the sorry state Crossbell is in, we haven't had time to deal with the pleroma grass of a society. Maybe it's time for us to request backup from HQ. Belgard und Mainz habe ich was. It seems the Fisherman's Guild's secret weapon isn't a what but a who. Just thinking about what kind of man or angler he is makes my heart race. Oh, and off-screen I dealt with the last of a Elite 4. Is there something you need? You don't mean to tell me you've defeated the Elite 4, do you? Well, actually, I have. Present their medallions and prove it to me then. LoH showed Lake Lord III the 4 medallions he received after defeating the Elite Four. These are without a doubt the medals of the illustrious Elite Four. To think any one of you could rise to the occasion and challenge the Fishing Emperor. The Fishing Emperor? Indeed, you stand before Lake Lord III, the Fishing Emperor. He who bears the name of the club itself and sits atop its mighty throne. I will be awaiting your arrival at the venue of our decisive showdown. Come to the Azure Road Sandbank, where we fight. The bell from Central Square has been stolen. I talked to you already. But we got a few new recipes. I like ingredients. I like steak for steak. That makes a certain amount of sense. Reflective chocolate, yeah? Okay, but I need some steak to get the other thing. If you're looking for more seats at the Civic Center, the Business Owners Association is hosting a charity event, you see? Apparently Roy will be assisting with it, but, well, let's just say I hope it goes alright. To you who faithfully offers dishes, how do you fare today? I'm deeply grateful for your many visits to the gracious Jizo. The other day I was standing in my kitchen thinking about the delicious dishes you've offered, but then suddenly I started to try and make one myself. My mother had hammered her culinary teachings into me during my youth, but despite my zeal and confidence faded other plans. The cream stew I'd slaved over was not quite according to recipe. My family however spared me and complimented the taste. Although these are trying times, I'm grateful that we are able to continue living our daily lives. Maybe your days will be as peaceful as I found mine to be. I made loads of wooden utensils to help with the soup kitchen they set up in the downtown district. I know it isn't much, but I wanted to do what I could to pitch in. I went to mass earlier to pray to Adius. Hopefully peace comes back to Crossbar soon. It's not much of a silver lining, but at least East Street was lucky enough to avoid any real damage. Too bad I can't say the same of the downtown district, but rampaging demon left the place devastated. They're already working on repairing the area, but who knows how long it'll take. I donated some vegetables from my stall to the charity event at the Civic Center. The Business Owners Association is sponsoring it after all. I owe them a great deal. Not to mention I want the city folk to feel better just as much as anyone else. I'm grateful to the Business Owners Association for inviting me on as an officer and everything else they have done to make me feel welcome. If anyone can help breathe some life back into the citizens, it's them. Here's hoping the hard work pays off. The men in my house are on leave from work because of a raid. Though frankly, having them all at home makes doing the chores twice as hard. I suppose I should be thankful they're helping out more than they used to at least. I don't suppose we'll be allowed to go back to work anytime soon? Also, when Bank's kids in the red tracksuits wound up injured during the raid. It's always some to say the least. I wish them a quick recovery. I pass through Tangham Gate when I'm making deliveries. Things are a lot tenser there than usual right now. We're watching travelers more closely too, whether inbound or outbound. How am I supposed to run a business when things at the border are this tense? I'll just have to take my frustration out on this mean plate of fried rice. It looks like the reconstruction efforts in the downtown district are underway. Maybe I should go down there and find a way to help. Downtown is close by, a few unlucky strokes and E3 could have wound up in ruins too. Finn's helping with a charity event at the Civic Center today. In the meantime, I'll be filling in for him as Master's kitchen assistant. It's my chance to make myself as useful as I can. Menial chores are all I've really been good for around here. But now that I'm filling in for Finn, I need to make myself as useful as I can. I can't believe my Shanshan would participate in a pageant without telling me. The last I heard, she had refused Roy's invitation. Who was responsible for this? I will butcher him limb from limb with my cleaver. We'd better zip our lips. I'll have a champagne and fireworks ready for when he finds out, though. I suppose it's good when Shanshan was able to smile about something again. Nevertheless, there will be Gehenna to pay when I find out who is responsible for this. Whew. It's a little later than I'd like, but I can finally take a break. I'll make sure I'm back to full steam for the rest of the afternoon. This soup was really tasty, Daddy. It sure is. I can feel the calories powering me up already. Now actually, regarding the soup, I actually missed a DP here because after you talk with Azel to receive a quest, you have to talk to Tans here, who says he needs something extra for a specialty in the soup. And I think you get it from the juice store in the administrative district then? Some acerbic tomato concentrate or something like that. For an extra DP. Also, in the quest for, where you have Canon here, find all the stuff, I apparently didn't find all the scrap metal I needed. It is supposed to be 10 of them. I don't think I found 10 scrap metal. Gable's not back yet. Now the next on the schedule is deciding what to serve for tonight's soup kitchen. There must be something out there that everyone would like. Thanks again for your help, SSS. We've still got some soup left over if you want any. Warm soup. Thanks, we never turn away a second helping. Especially if this is delicious. I call dibs. I'm glad to hear it. Tells me it was worth it to make so many servings. We've still got plenty of portions left. Maybe I should bring some to Sarina and Yogurt. But again, the soup is supposed to be for the construction workers. Oh, I know. They can help wash the dishes in return. That should do it. You are a great help today, Special Support Section. The construction should go much more smoothly now. You're welcome. Just keep your shoulders to the wheel over here, alright, others? Of course, I make certain everyone does just right. Now that we've gathered the necessary materials, all that remains is to make use of them. Each and every one of us is going to have to put our minds to the job until sunset. But maybe seconds wasn't such a good idea after all, in retrospect. Should have remembered to eat in moderation. But, oh jeez, I might throw up if I move too much. Should have remembered to eat in moderation. Looks like we still got a lot of hard work ahead of us. Not too sure Beth is going to be alright for it though. Now that I've hit my fill, it's time for me to get back to scavenging. Thanks again for all of your help, guys. Walt. Everyone. Dino. Oh, BSS. Are all the saber weapons still in the hospital? Yeah. All of them but me. Koki got the worst of it. I even had to put him in a different room from the rest of the gang. I'm sorry to hear that. I shouldn't have brought it up. You can take your sympathy and shove it. Everyone's hurting right now. It's not fair that I'm the only one who got out okay. Damn it. Why did this have to happen? We should give him some space, Lloyd. Yeah, you're right. Why is the sun gotta be so bright? What's it trying to do? Kill me? I'm a night owl for Ursula's sake. I can't wait to eat the soup kitchen again tonight. I wonder what we're gonna have. And that pork soup earlier was pretty finger-licking good. I hope this construction stuff lasts forever if it means we can eat like that every day. Anyone down here? Just occasions, okay. I had some of that pork miso soup earlier. Gave me a much needed jolt of energy. Work progressions a lot more smoothly thanks to that. Sounds like everyone loved the pork miso soup Hazel made. Not to be sappy or anything, but this whole neighborhood soup kitchen idea really makes my heart swell. The whole neighborhood's busy working on the construction. What do you think you're glaring at? Mama and I help too, long as it ain't business hours. Maybe it's time we packed our bags and said goodbye to Crossbell. Bounce my ass being out of a loop of what's going on in this place. But I've got to think about what's best for Jingo too. Won't be long before I have to start planning out our future. Okay. So, I think we were everywhere in town. I guess with that I say, until next episode when we continue looking around outside of town. I'm Mace and don't get lost.